I'm Jessica with the Hood School of Acting, and the movie of the week is Whiplash.
Movie of the week.
This is an amazing film written and directed by Damien Chazelle. Now, interesting fact, he submitted it to Sundance because he couldn't get the funding. So he took a short, actually, of it, and he had J.K. Simmons in the short. He submitted it to Sundance, and from there, he got the funding. And at that point, he was able to hire both J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller. So let's talk about the actors a bit. Like I said, this is such a great film, and something interesting that I found after watching interviews, J.K. Simmons kept talking about how awesome it was to work with Miles Teller because he said he listened to him really well. And we're hearing this over and over again, right? But something that I talk about a lot is as actors, we have to be present with our partner and we have to listen. And in an interview, he said, I think everyone probably figures that's a given that our partner is going to listen to us, but a lot of actors don't, and especially younger and newer actors. And he said he was really pleasantly surprised and happy to see how present and how much Miles was listening. And he also said that Miles was such a good balance of a trained actor, but also someone willing to be open to, quote, play ball with him and to throw that ball back and forth and to allow for improvisation to come up when it happened. Another thing that J.K. Simmons said in an interview that stood out to me was that he knows he was playing someone that was dark and could come across as mean. Now, let me tell you also, he won an Oscar for this. He was amazing in this role. But he said it's important to him to not judge his character, because once we judge them, then we can't fully live them out and give them the potential that they need, right? So he said instead, he tried to justify and figure out why his character is so hard on Miles. And so he said, in his own way, he justified that this is what he went through. This is what his, music teacher did to him and conductor did to him. So it made him who he was, but also that he saw so much potential in Miles that this was the only way he knew to really get him to understand that he had to work hard. And so that was his way of really connecting with the character, so that way he didn't judge him. And this is something we talk about all the time. We cannot judge our character, right? We can't. We have to understand and justify what they're doing. So let's move on to Miles Teller. Now, Miles already knew how to play the drums. He said there is a difference, though, between being a rock and roll drummer to a jazz drummer. So he said he had been playing the drums for, I believe, about 10 years. But once he booked this, he realized, okay, I need to do a lot more. So he actually worked with Damien. He said he worked 4 days a week for almost 4 hours a day to really just get down. He said everything is different about being, a jazz drummer, where he said even the way he held the sticks, the way that he sat, his body position. And so it was something that he worked really hard on being able to fully live this out. He also said something that I thought was pretty interesting. He said, there's a lot of really intense scenes here. He said, I'm getting smacked, I'm getting spat at, there's a chair being thrown at me. And he said, but I knew what I was doing in the scene, and so did JK. He said, so we never took it home with us. In fact, after we heard cut, we were both laughing, joking. He said, but don't get me wrong. When I'm crying, I'm really crying. When I'm being yelled at, I am genuinely scared. I'm in the moment, he said, but both of us lived it out so fully, we didn't feel the need to hold on to it after. We fully got it out, and then we're able to move on. And this is also something we talk about all the time in class, right? We have to commit to what we're doing. We have to have an understanding of what we're doing. We have to work off the person, but from there, it's over. Shake it off, move on. And then move on to that next scene and have a fully understanding of that scene as well. That's what we want to work towards as actors, and they both did a really great job. Thanks for watching, and as I had mentioned, I break down a movie of the week each week in class. So come check out a free class. The link's below. I hope to see you soon. Thanks.